I would look at it, if you could compare him to like a character now, I'd say he's like the Penguin. He's like ruthless like that with his friends.
So Jay-Z's alleged son's paternity case is heating back up in court because his godmother has filed a new motion. She's claiming that vital court pages were missing in earlier rulings and demanding that the case be reopened after years of being shut down.
Crazy to me. You know, I'm not asking for no money or nothing. I'm not asking for no handouts or nothing like that. I work every day. I take care of my family. Only thing I'm asking for, if it's not the truth and there's nothing wrong with the Supreme Court, like, you know, just get it over with.
Yeah. I'm with Jay-Z's daughter. My name is Letitia Mason from Cambridge, Maryland. My mom, her name is Lisa Mason. She has multiple sclerosis. I've heard that Jay-Z was my father all my life. There's no way that he can deny.
Things are heating up again between Jay-Z and the rumored son he still refuses to acknowledge. And guess who's allegedly stirring the situation this time? Dame Dash, yes, you heard that right. Word is, new filings just dropped in the long-running case involving Ramir Satterthwaite, the man who has been claiming since the 90s that Jay-Z is his father. Now it's being said that Dame is working behind the scenes, supplying Ramir with inside information and old Rockefeller receipts to keep the case alive. The plot is thickening fast, and people can't believe Dame is getting pulled into this again. So let's break down what's in these new court filings, what kind of documents are supposedly being exchanged, and why Dame would decide to jump into this legal chaos like it's a Rockefeller reunion gone wrong.
He spent like millions at this point to fight this case. Like, if this really wasn't your son, take the test to prove that it's not. I think the real reason he doesn't want to take the test is because if it proves that he's the father, that would also prove that he was sleeping with an underage girl at the time.
The latest bombshell dropped just a few days ago after Ramir's godmother, Miss Lily Coley, filed a new motion in federal court in California. And it's wild. According to her filing, Jay-Z's legal team only turned over about 18 pages out of what is supposed to be a 100-plus page court record from back in New Jersey. That's barely a fraction of the full documentation. Lily claims those missing pages contain the real key information, including a modification application that could flip the entire case. If that document shows the paternity issue was never officially closed in state court, then Jay-Z's legal team may have presented a very one-sided narrative to the judge. That would mean the case is far from over, and the truth may still be buried in those missing records. But Jay-Z's camp continues insisting that this entire situation is nothing more than harassment that's dragged on for decades. So now it's a full-on standoff. One side is fighting to expose what's been hidden since the 90s, and the other is trying to shut it down entirely. But let's rewind, because this story is about more than Jay allegedly refusing to acknowledge Ramir. Back in the 90s, before Beyonce, before the billion-dollar empire, Jay-Z was still rising in the New York and New Jersey scene. According to Ramir's late mother, Wanda, she and Jay allegedly had a relationship during that time. But here's where things become serious. Ramir claims his mother was under 18 during that relationship and that Jay got her pregnant. That allegation changes everything. Some people believe that might be the real reason Jay has been fighting so aggressively to shut down this paternity case. Because at this point, it's not just about denying a biological connection anymore. It's about what could come out if the full truth is ever forced into court.
What was she when you were born?
15, going on 16.
15. If they had met. Now, how old was Jay-Z at the time?
I think like 22.
But things only got more complicated after that. According to a 2018 lawsuit Ramir filed in Philadelphia, Jay-Z's attorney allegedly had his mother, Wanda, sign legal documents while she was still in the hospital, just coming out of a medicated coma. Those documents reportedly removed his godmother, Lily Coley's name without consent and for unclear reasons. That move resulted in the entire case being dismissed from the Philadelphia court. Ramir's family later said in interviews that they had never experienced anything that felt so corrupt or devastating, and it didn't stop there. Each time Ramir tried to move forward, whether by filing petitions, requesting DNA tests, or submitting motions in both New Jersey and Pennsylvania, something always blocked him. Wrong jurisdiction. Expired deadlines. Case dismissed over and over again, and then things turned dark. After Ramir filed that lawsuit against Jay-Z, both he and his godmother claimed someone actually shot at him. This stopped being just a legal battle. It started looking dangerous.
Ramir was shot somewhere in September. He was in a parking lot with other people. near where he's at living now. And out of all the cars there.
According to Lily, things got strange after Ramir filed that lawsuit. And not just a little strange, genuinely unsettling. She says random people began showing up at her home, trying to intimidate her into backing off. But she's been clear from the start. To her, this isn't just about Jay-Z. It's about a system that seems to bend for people with power and deep pockets. Lily is fighting to prove that money shouldn't be able to rewrite the truth. Meanwhile, Jay's legal team is still focused on shutting the case down through every technical loophole they can find. Wrong jurisdiction, expired claims, anything that sticks. Now they're even pushing for sanctions, essentially asking the court to punish Lily for keeping the case going. That could mean fines, or even blocking her from filing in the future. So instead of settling this with a simple DNA test, the situation has turned into a paperwork war. Jay's camp clearly knows that as long as everything stays tied up in legal procedures, that DNA test never has to happen. And that's exactly why people online keep asking the same question. If the case is really baseless, then why not just take the test and end this once and for all? Here's the twist. Ramir has said again and again that he's not after money. He can't even get child support at this point, even if he proved Jay is his father. This isn't about cash. It's about closure. Even 50 Cent jumped into the conversation, posting a headline about Ramir's lawsuit with the caption, "What exactly does he want?" And then joked, "That's his nose, LOL." The internet went crazy over that one, but Jay's legal side sees taking a DNA test as acknowledging the claim, and they want no part of that. So instead, they ignore the situation and treat it like background noise, hoping it fades. But clearly, that strategy isn't working, because here we are decades later and the story is only getting louder. And now, another name is back in the mix. Damon Dash, yes, that Dame. Word is he's allegedly been giving Ramir's side old Rockefeller-era information. Details like who was where, who Jay was around, which cities he moved through in the early 90s. Basically, the kind of background that could help confirm the timeline Ramir's mother always described. And honestly, it lines up with what Dame has been saying for years. He's accused Jay of selling out their legacy, turning his back on his people and playing dirty behind the scenes. So now it looks like Dame may be using this moment to finally let some long-held truths out.
You know, like if I'm trying to sell something, him and his lawyers, Alex Shapiro, putting a false lawsuit on me, like, like that, devaluing anything that I have or trying to sell. But, or even down to like, we were selling Rockware, right, for like $400 million or whatever. I was gonna make $40 million. And right before Tommy Hilfiger signs the papers, he makes an announcement saying that he's not f***ing with Rockware, that he's only f***ing with S. Carter. The whole shit. And I just feel like he did that only because I was gonna make $40 million. Like, he just couldn't see, like, they get so mad if I'm gonna make money off them. Like, every time I could have made a really big check, he's always stepped in and intentionally fucked it up. Listen, don't ask me, ask the rest of the industry. Like, the way I would look at it, like, if you could compare him to like a character now, I'd say he's like the Penguin. He's like ruthless like that with his friends or people that help him. At least that's how it kind of rolled out. Well, again, I don't want to talk about this all day because all they're going to say is, you keep talking about it, like, you asking me questions about it.
Now, people are split over Dame stepping into this situation. Half of fans are cheering him on, saying it's about time someone challenged Jay-Z. The other half believe Dame is stirring the pot and using Ramir's case as payback for the past tension between him and Jay. But just when it seemed like the story couldn't get more complicated, another person came forward claiming they're connected to the Carter bloodline. Her name is Letitia Morris, and she stepped out a few years ago saying she is also Jay-Z's secret daughter. Reports say Letitia was born in Cambridge, Maryland, and that her mother, Lisa, allegedly met Jay back in the 90s. Letitia even posted on Instagram before deleting the account, saying she grew up in a town where everyone already knew Jay-Z was her father. She posted side-by-side photos of herself and Jay, and people online immediately pointed out how strong the resemblance seemed. And then it got even deeper. Someone who was right there during the Rockefeller era, Chino from State Property, started speaking up too. Chino came up under the rock in '99, right before State Property blew up. And what he's saying now might change everything. According to Chino, everyone in the Rockefeller circle back then already knew Jay had a daughter in Maryland, a child he refused to acknowledge. That is a major claim. Chino even added that when his own son tragically passed away in a car accident, Jay-Z didn't reach out. No call, no condolences, and Chino said he wasn't surprised. In his words, if a man won't acknowledge his own daughter, why would he show up for anybody else? That struck a nerve with fans, and the conversation hasn't slowed down since.
Your son passed away, and you said something that stuck with me. You said Jay-Z didn't call you.
Of course, I didn't expect him to either. I didn't expect him to. So like me, I'm not even in it. I'm just looking at how you treat other people. That's like, I mean, like damn, I know. I don't stand a chance. Even like the daughter he got. I'm not hiring my daughter for nobody. The whole reason to get money is for your kids. Like, and if a mother don't let their daughter, they definitely don't let you.
And Chino didn't stop there. He questioned how Jay-Z can live comfortably knowing there may be a young woman out there who could be his daughter. But here's where things get even more intense. Letitia's mother's timeline matches Ramir's mother's timeline almost exactly. Both say they were involved with Jay in the early to mid-90s, and both children grew up hearing the same alleged father's name. Coincidence? Possibly, but a lot of people aren't convinced. Many online are saying it doesn't make sense that Jay-Z would only have one alleged child from that era, especially considering how active and visible he was while rising through the music scene. The timelines, the stories, and even the resemblance. It's all starting to sound too connected to ignore. So what do you think? Is this just another round of people trying to shake the Carter empire? Or could there be real truth buried under all of this? And seriously, why won't Jay just take the DNA test and end the conversation once and for all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, share, and make sure you subscribe, because this story is nowhere near finished.